Welcome back to New Rockstars. Black Panther Wakanda Forever gave us Shuri as our new Black Panther. But if I was the one gambling, I had my money on Okoye. Did you believe our newest Black Panther would be Shuri? Because I don't think it was. I think a lot of people didn't. This had us thinking, who else has been a Black Panther and who could be in the future? This is Big Question, the show that asks and answers the biggest questions floating around the nerd sphere and a few of the small ones too. My name is Jessica Clemons, and with me today, my best friend in the world, Tommy Bechtold.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Jessica.
Hi.
So good to be here. You know me. Have I been a Panther before? Probably not. Don't think I qualify.
I don't think you would be. You could be a hyena.
I'll be a hyena.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to Big Question, you guys. In the MCU, we've seen the Black Panther mantle change a couple of times. We had Bashenga, T'Challa, Killmonger, and now Shuri. And can it stop there? Absolutely not. This sets us up for this week's big question. Who could be the Black Panther in the future? Who else could it be? And you know how crazy I am, so I went to the comic books. And there are justifiably over like 13.
Okay.
Over maybe 15, but some of them don't count. So, okay, like I said earlier, we've seen Bashenga in the first Black Panther when they're doing the retelling of them becoming the Black Panther. King T'Chaka, who dies, King T'Challa, who unfortunately also passes, Killmonger, who also passes,
Dead.
And now Shuri. So clearly people are just getting it once someone else passes.
It's kind of like being the king of Westeros. It's not a long job. It's not a long career.
It is. Oh no, it isn't. And also, it isn't for these folks. Unfortunately, they kind of went abruptly.
Yeah.
Ugh. But in the comics, there were a bunch of different people. Some people that are completely wild. Some that are completely
Yes.
offensive. Some that are just like ridiculous. But all could hold a place in the MCU storytelling, and maybe we could get into them as prequels or sequels, what have you. So these are my baddies. These are my list of baddies.
Ooh, baddies.
They're all, no, each and individually, all of them
Are hot?
baddies. They're all hot. They're
Okay.
all fine as hell.
I'm
They're all
excited.
fine as hell. We're going to go over them one by one. And I'm going to discuss with you, and you can tell us if it's realistic for them to come into the MCU or would we want to see them in their own story. Okay, ready? So we're going to start with Earth 616. And you guys, this is the one that people don't realize. People think it always starts with Bashenga. People think it starts with Bashenga, but actually it starts with Mosi. This is what Mosi looks like. Look
Oh
it up
my
there.
God.
You don't need to hold it up because we have the green screen. They'll show it.
The Panther was the first to discover the manner of vibrating rock or some such.
Or some such.
And the first to begin to unlock its many secrets. Never have I been more impressed by a mortal. Look at him.
He's beautiful. He's fine as
God.
hell. And also he has an actual like panther head on
Yeah,
his body.
he's got kind of like the beast
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, I love him.
jowl hairs.
So Mosi comes from 1,000,000 BC, but we see him first in Marvel Legacy. He was the first to be aided and favored by Bast to become the first Black Panther. And in the MCU, and a lot in the comics, you think it's Bashenga who was the first Black Panther, but it was rewritten, kind of like retconned in 2022 when the comic dropped with Mosi saying that he was the official first Black Panther. So Mosi oversaw the Black Panther tribe while Bashenga oversaw the kingdom, so they could have also like been like, maybe that doesn't count. But when the Vibranium mound landed in Wakanda, it opened a bunch of rifts, allowing a lot of different creatures to come through, like the Brood, who are just a bunch of insects that are monsters. And Mosi defended all the Wakandans, but this also attracted Odin. And Mosi joined Odin and was a part of the Stone Age Avengers. The Stone Age Avengers, which consisted of Agamotto, Ghost Rider, Iron Fist, Moon Knight, and Phoenix.
Wait, hang on a second. Ghost Rider?
Yes, Ghost Rider was on
Was
the
he
team.
traveling through time? Or?
He was just there during, I guess, he was, okay, so we know that Ghost Rider kind of got, like, his mantle from, like, hell, so it's like someone from hell just came during the Stone Age
Maybe
period.
he was riding a saber-toothed tiger or a mastodon.
Oh my god, I can't wait to get into the other ones, because it comes out. Also, Mosi was the first person after Odin to lift and wield Mjolnir.
Yeah.
So how realistic is it for this character to come into the MCU, and would you want to see their story?
I don't know about the MCU because I want him to have this story back in time. Like, the only reason, I want it to be a Marvel film, but I wish Marvel would have, like, kind of the way DC seems to be set up now, where they're going to have, like, these are Marvel characters, but they're not MCU timeline. Or just make it another dimension that takes place 1,000,000 years ago.
Well, it could be a prequel.
Yeah, I love it. A prequel would be great. An explanation of the first Black Panther. Come on, first Avenger, first Black Panther. Give it to us.
So that's what brings me into Bashenga. And this is Bashenga that we saw in the MCU, because we saw them when they're retelling the story of Bashenga, and he was the warrior shaman who became the first king of Wakanda, the first Black Panther, after he was able to get all the tribes to come together, and the Jabari went into the mountains.
They went into the mountains. But weirdly, the most cooperative later on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that full circle story. Yeah. So there's been a lot of rumors online about them coming into a prequel of Bashenga, which would be nice because then we'd meet other characters. But what do you think? Do we want to?
Well, see, now I'm...
if you had to choose between the two.
Now I'm torn. I have to say Mosi still has my heart. Bashenga is like... it's like Doctor Who, right? They say whoever the first Doctor that you watch is your favorite Doctor. This is most of the time. But I feel like, Bashenga was my first Black Panther. But now I'm kind of like, someone evil needs to transport like 7 Panthers to like a world and make them do something together. Because I want Bashenga and Mosi to work in concert.
That'd be great.
I want them to work together.
Too bad they're different times.
That's
what
I mean. That's why they have to be transported.
Oh, okay. Then I'd read into that one. Okay, for our next one, it's Nyanda.
Hello.
Or Nahanda. Settle down. Speaking of Black Panthers, she was the former Queen of Wakanda and the first female Black Panther. She was a member of the Avengers 1000 AD that consisted of Ghost Rider. He kept coming in. Gale, the Atlantean princess with the Iron Fist. So that could be a Talokan today. That could be a Talokan with the Iron Fist.
Give me Gale.
Give it. That name, wasted on an amazing character.
Who are you? Say your name, woman. I'm Gale.
I'm Gale.
You can call me Gale. I do commercial real estate. I also sell Tupperware at parties. My favorite wine is Pinot Gris.
Oh my! Now I like Gale even more.
Gale's fun to party with, but after she has that 4th glass, she starts to say stuff that makes you uncomfortable.
Oh, okay, never mind.
We don't know where Gale was on January 6th.
Oh, that's what you're saying? That's what you're saying? With the Iron Fist. Theodosia Zardos, who was a.k.a. the Phoenix Force, she was an older lady that had the Phoenix Force, and they were all led by Thor. She also founded the Dora Milaje.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. I don't mean to be a repeating, repeating Ronald here, but yes, MCU movie, Dora Milaje origin.
So the
Dora Milaje.
I think they got a.
Oral Menage.
Slow down now.
It's a Tuesday.
Hey, slow down. It's a Tuesday. It's God's day. But a book recently came out that has like the history of the Dora Milaje, and they kind of briefly talk about how, she was the one that created and founded it. And I want a story about her. I want more than a book.
What's the name of the Midnight Angels? What did you think of the Midnight Angels?
I like them.
I did too.
I want more of them, clearly. I want more than 2.
So I think that's why I like the question, how many of these suits do you have? And now that Okoye's in, I feel like we're going to get more.
And they're different from the Dora Milaje, right? So they'll be like, it's like that general can still stay with the Dora Milaje.
That's right.
Then we got the Midnight Angels.
I love it.
I'm here for it. Okay, this bad motherfucker. Sorry, bleep that out. King Azuri, the Black Panther during World War II. This is T'Challa's grandfather.
Yes.
So Colonel Fritz Claw, as we know as like Ulysses Claw, was working for Adolf Hitler, and his plane crashed over Wakanda, and Azuri nursed him back to health, and they became friends. They became friends briefly until Claw was like, hey, you are the Black Panther. You should be a god to these people. And he was like, no, we're all even. That's how we work here in Wakanda. Claw fought him on it. And then so much so that he ended up killing the queen.
Oh.
And Black Panther ripped off his arm and he retreated back to Germany. And then in 1941, Azuri saw the Nazis and Americans as both like threats because after that happened, I would too. And then he eventually learned to trust Captain America and Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos to protect Wakanda from Strucker and Red Skull, who was sent to steal the vibranium for the Nazis. Clearly they win, the Wakandans, not the Nazis. And afterwards, Azuri was like, I hope Captain America is to America as I am to the Wakandans. And I was like, I like this, but also I don't want it as a story.
What do you think I'm going to say to you?
No.
Correct. Goodbye.
I don't mean to be. I'm World War II Nazi'd out. I think we have to never forget how awful and evil the Nazis are. Condemn them. Stop putting them on screen. Except for Hunters season 2 coming out January 13th. With your boy. Those are the only Nazis you can love. No, just kidding. Don't love them either. I play a very horrible person, but don't worry. I get what's coming to me. Anyway, back to this point. I also think that isn't there a video game in development right now that is T'Chaka and Captain America fighting with the Howling Commandos? I believe that was announced at D23. I think. Fact check me on this, editors, or don't. And that is the World War II Black Panther story I would love to hear more
Okay,
about.
there you go. I think that's good. Then we get it there. Now this one is very fun.
Oh my God.
And by very fun, it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So Kevin Casper Cole, look at this bad boy
Whoa.
right there. Yes, an NYPD cop. He ruined a fake drug bust and was put on suspension because he did that. He then stole the Black Panther suit from his boss. He's an ally to the original Black Panther. And no one thought of it too much because T'Challa had disappeared at this moment. So they were like, oh yeah, it's just normal Black Panther wandering around and fighting crime, right? And then they find T'Challa hiding in Brooklyn and this little cat, demands T'Challa let him partake in the heart-shaped herb and become the new Black Panther. T'Challa's like, okay, but you gotta go face the Wakandan leader, who's Erik Killmonger. Who's Killmonger, and he couldn't defeat Killmonger, but Killmonger offered him the heart-shaped herb that would work for his non-Wakandan body and the position of White Tiger. And a lot of his storyline, he works alongside Rhodey.
Whoa! Okay, here's what I'm going to say with this. Not an MCU movie. Very cool story. Marvel. This is the only time I'm ever going to say this, except for the time I said earlier in the episode. I'm on a lot of cough medicine right now, so forgive me. There's some truth and power. Speaking truth to power. Marvel, make this a prestige animated film. Not a goofy Iron Man with a bad Robert Downey Jr. impersonator. He's fine. He does a good job sounding like Robert Downey Jr. He just makes him too sarcastic. Only Robert Downey Jr. should be that sarcastic. Make a good, serious, R-rated animated film about this story. Give me the White Tiger. Give me Rhodey. Give me the heart-shaped herb for people that are non-Wakandan. Give me Killmonger. Blood. Give me some F words. Give me it! Make this an animated film. Let Jessica and I write it. And, maybe I'll voice like a random white cop, like, hey, what are you doing here?
You're already acting it out.
Hey, what are you doing here? These itches are everywhere. All right. Okay.
Give me this like Netflix gave us Jessica Jones and Daredevil.
Oh,
do you
sure.
imagine like a gritty version of this? Because it's like, okay, I'm like, cops, I don't really care to see too much of. We got a lot of them, but I love a cop that's just like, I'm the Black Panther.
Yeah. I like the it first kind of stolen valor of it. Like he's like, I took the suit, I'm the Black Panther now. And then it ends up working out that he does become a hero. I think that's really interesting. I agree with you, but the reason I want it animated is to separate it and avoid confusion that it's MCU. Because look at all those Netflix shows now are either being adapted and turned into Disney Plus shows to avoid that separation, or they're kind of just forgotten about. Iron Fist, anyone? When are we talking about the Iron Fist? He's not Iron Mist. Let's put it that way.
He's Gale.
He's Gale.
Honestly,
I'm Gale.
Also, Iron Fist.
I'm addicted to scratch-off lottery tickets.
I'm Gale. Get off my lawn.
I kissed 2 girls in college, but never again.
Never again. Never again. A casserole. Yum, yum, yum.
Marshmallows go on salads.
Oh, God, I'd fight her to death. Okay, you guys. So these are the ones that are out of this world. These are the ones that are out of this world. And when I say they're out of this world, they're not of this timeline. They're from a different universe, or literally Emperor Jadka. Or I'll say Jadka.
Jadaka.
There you go. This one right here.
Okay.
Look at that man. Look at this man.
Look at this man.
He looks like Predator.
Can't you see he's like the Predator? Look at this man.
Look at this man.
Can't you see he's getting better?
Oh,
I
God.
don't know much, but I know I love you. And that's all we can sing before we get demonetized.
Oh my God, that was a good one though. So this was Erik Killmonger. Same name, but completely different person than we've seen. This Killmonger wasn't from Earth. In another universe, this Black Panther ruled the intergalactic empire of Wakanda.
Whoa.
So a space Black Panther, sort of space warlord.
Yeah.
He bonded with a symbiote over their mutual hatred of the Wakandan emperor and then killed him, becoming the new ruler. He was still a complete bad person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also like a space Black Panther? Do I want a space Black Panther?
I think this is a great comic book. I don't think we need it as a movie.
You don't think it's nice?
Great comic
Look
book.
at how fine he is.
He looks great.
And his teeth stick out of his skin.
I do like that. I like the way he looks. I'm a little distrustful of the symbiotes.
Okay, well
as
then
Jenny
you're not gonna.
Slate would say.
You're not gonna like this one. This is Gozi. I think Ngozi or Gozi. She was a young paralyzed Nigerian girl. She got paralyzed in a bus accident. She was a runner, got paralyzed in a bus accident. Who merged with the Venom symbiote right as King T'Challa is getting killed by Rhino.
Oh.
Yeah, so she was like watching a grasshopper and then she was following it because she collects insects. And when she got out, all she saw was Rhino beating the crap out of T'Challa.
Rhino, that's got to be his greatest accomplishment.
There's a lot of stuff about this comic that I didn't like, but that was the one, that was a top 3.
My God.
That I was like, Rhino beats T'Challa. Okay, either way. So he beats T'Challa.
Yeah.
And he's killed by Rhino. The Wakandans convince her. So she gets the symbiote because Rhino had like a cylinder glass or a canister and dropped it, and a symbiote was in it. And she was like, "Come on, we need to go save T'Challa." Symbiote was like, "Rad, let's do it, baby," and connected to her and became this. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm on board with this.
And then she fought and beat Rhino, and then the Wakandans convinced her to come to Wakanda, then gave her the heart-shaped herb, and she became the next Black Panther with the symbiote.
I'm in. This is a movie.
Oh, this is a movie?
This is a movie.
This is a movie?
This is a movie.
Is this a Sony movie?
We may have to switch some things around, but this is a movie.
This is a movie.
This is a movie.
Could you repeat that?
Oh my gosh.
We need more female heroes. We need more female badass heroes that aren't just assisting the men. This is a female hero who will F up anybody. So
She was also she was able to like fly.
she looks awesome. Okay?
She's badass.
I prefer this Venom symbiote
Then this one?
to that one. I do.
Okay, this one. This one right here.
I stopped scrolling.
This is Captain America.
No.
No!
Next.
Let me finish!
Next.
Wait, hear me out. And I
Okay.
need you to hear me out. I
Okay.
get why you did that. I completely understand.
Okay.
So, in Captain America, an Ultimate Captain America annual, Captain America was mentoring and training T'Challa to be on the Ultimates. So, in this universe, though, his older brother, T'Challa's, was in Baku. And he challenged him for the throne. And in order to challenge, what they had to do was they had to hunt down an actual Black Panther, but the Panther tore out T'Challa's throat. And the Wakandan medical resources couldn't save him, so they had to ask for the U.S. for help, and they used Weapon X on him.
Oh, that's
They used Weapon X on him, and he was so messed up that he like always kept his he was kind of like from The Boys, that never shows his face.
Oh, Black Noir.
In the Black Noir, he's kind of like Black Noir, and so they used Weapon X, and T'Challa had retractable metal claws like Wolverine, which. We'll get into that later. Nick Fury refused to send T'Challa back home to Wakanda because he assumed his father was liable for his throat injury. And so when Captain America met T'Challa, they basically had this like conversation. They were able to communicate to each other. And Captain America found out that T'Challa just wanted to go home and see his father and didn't want to stay here anymore. So Captain America let him go and wore his suit and posed as the Black Panther. Now, when I say hear me out, I say hear me out because I'm like, okay, who's our new Captain America? It's Sam Wilson. It's Sam Wilson, who was a black man. Who's a black man.
Yeah.
Now, if Sam Wilson did that, got in that suit,
Yes.
game over. So should I go pick up that paper?
No.
Okay.
Because that is a white Captain America. on that paper.
That is a white man
That is a creamy.
in a black suit.
That is a miracle whipped white Captain America.
You took the sheet from me so fast.
I saw that image and I went,
It left a bad taste. But do you think we can make it into a movie?
yeah, I
You
like the
wanna see
Sam
it?
Wilson version. I watched that movie.
Okay, perfect. So no white Captain America putting on the suit and posing as Black Panther.
Yeah.
The thing is, do you imagine he was like doing it and fighting crime? People were like, yeah. And then like a black boy came up to him and was like, I can't wait to be you one day.
And he was like, yeah.
he said, and I whoop. Ghost Panther. Look how badass that shit is.
Yeah, I'm on board with this.
Look how badass this is, you guys.
I
He's
mean,
riding a panther on fire.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Any animal on fire that is still living and coherent
Yeah.
is pretty badass in my book.
Yeah.
So, in Infinity War, Gamora folded the universe in half. This is Gamora's taking the place of Thanos. She betrayed her entire team, and she was like, you know what, I'm going to take these stones for myself, and I'm going to do a little trick right here. So she flips and folds the universe in half, merging a lot of the heroes' souls with one another during Infinity War. She created a pocket dimension that was referred to as the Warp World. And in that dimension, we got Black Panther that merged with Ghost Rider to make Ghost Panther. Which, okay, I know that we're like, okay, so what's the behind the scenes, Jessica? What's the story behind it? So this character has a story previously that follows him being banished from Wakanda by his father, then working for stuntman Jericho Simpson. T'Challa's new name, Johnny Blaze. He names himself Johnny Blaze. Then his story basically follows the original Ghost Rider, but it's just with T'Challa, and he's on a Black Panther. That's a fire.
I like it. I like the flames coming out of the Panther's eyes. I'm in.
I'm so in. And also, okay, so then in that same issue, if you fold the world again, which she does, what would happen, you know? 2 more superheroes would form with you.
Whoa!
And they became Ghost Hammer, which is Thor and Iron Man that melded together, merging with Ghost Panther, and it became Ghost Hammer.
And I will always love you.
I thought you were gonna start
6 movies and a season of television.
and a season of television.
Yes.
The outfit looks like a Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
And their skull is on fire.
I love it.
It's so badass. There's nothing as cool as this. And you guys, those were the Black Panthers that could make their way in the future. I mean, realistically, I hope we just get like a Bashenga or Mosey like prequel. It's kind of hard because the Mosey comic came out in like August of 2022.
Right.
So it's like,
we could be some years away.
but if you guys wanted to jumpstart on this freaking...
I love it. And let us write the animated White
Kevin
Tiger.
Casper.
Yeah.
Kevin Casper.
All right. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Also incredible, this weekend you can come see Jessica and I, along with Erik Voss and the rest of the Break Room cast at LA Comic-Con. We'll be hosting a panel Sunday, December 4th at 10:30 a.m. The first person to bring me a cold brew from Starbucks receives a high five and maybe a hug if I'm not contagious. You can learn more about LA Comic-Con and purchase tickets at comicconla.com. Come see us. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be wild. We're going to be fun.
There's going to be... Jay's going to be there. He's not going to be on the panel, but Jay's going to be there. Eric Owusu's going to be there.
You never know who's going to show up. And also, listen, you ever wanted to meet us? This is your chance, okay? Because other than that, we go back into hiding. We go back into the new Rockstars vault for 20 years after that. All right. Also, be sure to check out newrockstarsmerch.com, where there's still time to grab our latest obsession merch, The Forever King, inspired by Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You can also check out some New Rockstars merch, including the limited edition enamel pin. I have one.
Where?
In my office. Support the channel and check out all of our awesome merch options over at newrockstarsmerch.com.
Perfect.
It's time for verses.
Ooh.
It's time for verse I know you have verses.
I'm going to sing out. I'm going to out-sing you to death, boy.
I believe it. This is the segment where we pit 2 characters against each other in a hypothetical battle to see if we can determine who would win and who would lose. This week, we're going to see who would win in a battle between Shuri and M'Baku, who doesn't acknowledge that he's from Rochester, New York, so he's already out of points. You're not from Brooklyn. You went to Brighton High School. Okay, Winston?
It's going to get out. It's going to get out soon how many times you brought it up, and he's been responding to people on Twitter like crazy.
I love him. First things first. He's one of my favorite actors. I just want him to acknowledge that we, at some point, lived in the same city at the same time. And then one day I want to give him a high five, maybe a hug. And maybe I'll bring him a cold brew. Anyway, let's look at some of the official stats provided on Marvel.com. These are based on comic book versions of the characters, but it should give us a great starting point for our discussion. Marvel provides a rating from 1 to 7 on 6 categories: durability, energy, fighting skills, intelligence, Irish dancing, and strength. Just kidding. Speed. It's speed and strength. Let's start with the stats on M'Baku. Durability. He's a 3. Energy. He's a 1. That's what happens when you eat an all-vegetarian diet. No energy.
Wait, what?
Fighting skills, 4. Intelligence, 2. Come on.
Damn.
Big guys are not dumb. Speed, 3. Strength, 4. All right.
They gave him nothing.
His numbers are bad.
Well, to be fair, in the comics, he's also like Ape Man or Man Ape.
Man Ape, yeah.
Ape Man, oh, gorilla.
Ape
grape
Man!
Ape. Welcome to the stage, Grape Ape. So
I think, yeah,
they
sorry.
I don't think they gave him his dues.
Yeah, they didn't. He has not gotten his flowers yet that he maybe deserves from the movie.
Go to Shuri. I want to see what the hell they put.
Let's remember that in the MCU, M'Baku does not have any powers. He's considered peak human with his strength, mastery at combat, tactical fighting skills. He kept up pretty well in a fight against the Telecanal, who are, of course, stronger than most humans. Now, let's look at Shuri. For whatever reason, Marvel.com does not provide their standard stats for Shuri, but given that she's now ingested the synthetic heart-shaped herb, we can use T'Challa's stats as a baseline for some of these figures.
Baloney.
Yeah, come on, give her own stats. For Shuri, let's just say durability 3, energy 3, fighting skills 2, intelligence 7, but it should probably be a 9.
Yeah.
Speed 3, strength 3. She's only one.
It's like the same.
Well, I mean, honestly, her with heart-shaped herb skills, her strength should be more than M'Baku. She can punch things.
Right. Well, this is T'Challa, so it's the same heart-shaped herb.
I don't know. I think we got to go to Marvel.com and talk to them. I'm taking my energy off Winston Duke and on to Marvel.com's rankings.
There you go.
Now that Shuri is powered up with the heart-shaped herb and has a vibranium Black Panther suit, complete with sonic energy gauntlets, how would she fare in a fight against M'Baku?
M'Baku would win.
I think easily.
Well, okay, wait, with the heart-shaped herb?
Wait. Well, it depends because, I mean...
He took on... Did he take on Killmonger in the first movie? He didn't take on T'Challa in the first movie.
No, and he got completely screwed up by Namor in the second movie.
Yeah, but that's not even the heart-shaped. That's a mutant.
Right.
That's a mutant. That's a mutant.
Sometimes people think the first mutant. All right. I think Shuri with the suit... if Shuri had to challenge for the throne against M'Baku, where she would be depowered, how would it go? I think...
M'Baku would rip her apart if she got depowered.
If he was... Here's the thing. Is there ethics? Because he's like... he looks massive in the movie, and I'm sure they cast smaller people around him, because I know he's not, like, that huge in real life, but he's a big guy.
Yeah.
If those two human beings, just at their height and weight and physical fitness, he doesn't have a lot of body fat on him, so he's not like, a big fat guy that's kind of slow and will lose stamina. I think, unfortunately, he kills her.
Unfortunately, that's just not even a fair fight.
Yeah.
Because also, like, we saw...
But is there morality in this fight? Would M'Baku do that?
No, absolutely not.
Right.
Also because the one rule the one thing he pledged to T'Challa was like, I would take care of you,
Right.
I'd watch over you. So he's definitely not gonna fight her, but if they did have to, put up a little dukes.
It's like the OJ book, If I Did It.
Yeah, if I did it, he would win.
Yeah,
he would win.
He would win.
We saw how small Shuri was also in the movie. She was a little
She is a
bean
tiny
sprout.
thing. Well, and what's even crazier is how much smaller Riri is than Shuri. She's like a foot shorter.
She's very short. Well, Letitia Wright's giant. She's like tall, but she was very small in the little outfit. She's a little bird lady.
All right. So I think we're going M'Baku.
Yeah, M'Baku's gonna take.
But I think with the heart-shaped herb, Shuri certainly puts up way more of a fight, and probably eventually just wears out M'Baku would be my thing.
You know what the real fight is me wrestling M'Baku. Now hear me out.
I don't think
Ryan
she means
Coogler
wrestling.
cast me as this.
Yeah.
No, it is wrestling. There's just a lot less clothing and a lot more water.
All right. Well, if we're doing that, then I would also like to wrestle Nakia. She's a grieving widow, and I think we should, by fair, I should go to Haiti and wrestle her.
Okay, from the hive mind, we got some bite-sized questions.
Okay.
It's time for these bite-sized questions. You want to do it?
Sure. Crispy Chrissy.
Crispy.
Crispy Crispy. I'm Chris Crispy.
Oh no.
Crispy Chrissy on Discord asked, what would happen if a War Skrull was touched by Rogue? As we all know, Rogue is a mutant with the ability to absorb the powers, energies, and memories and physical abilities of other beings, whether they are superpowered or not. And let's be honest, it doesn't go well for them when she does that. And it's not just human mutants she can absorb powers from. She famously absorbed Captain Marvel's powers to the point where she retained the power of flight and super strength.
I remember this.
She's also absorbed the powers of aliens and even gods like, Loki, god of mischief. So what would happen if Rogue's absorption of powers ever came up against a War Skrull? What is a War Skrull? I said that like Tucker Carlson. What is a War Skrull?
What's a War Skrull?
Let's be honest.
What's war scroll?
These people are just trying to express their freedom and their right to vote. Okay. Well, what is a war scroll? We all know the standard scrolls are those shape-shifting MFers that are about to pull a secret invasion on the MCU. Not on my watch. In the comics, Rogue has absorbed their abilities of regular Skrulls before, causing her to take on the appearance of a Skrull. She also had the ability to recall the powers of those she had previously absorbed. That's kind of cool. And it happened randomly at first, but eventually Rogue learns to control things. That's the message. Rogue will control it eventually. Then there are Super Skrulls. They're not quite War Skrulls, but we're getting there. Super Skrulls have the ability to shapeshift like a standard Skrull, but they can also mimic powers. The first Super Skrull used technological enhancements to imitate the abilities of the Fantastic Four, but eventually the Skrulls found a way to actually give the Super Skrulls abilities without tech enhancements. There's a Rogue out there in Multiverse 82182. Earth 2182. There is a Rogue out there in the multiverse, Earth 2182, that permanently absorbed the powers of the Super Skrull, giving her the powers of those Fantastic Four. I'm talking Reed, I'm talking Sue, I'm talking Johnny, I'm talking Ben Grimm. Now, the actual question is about War Skrulls, so everything I said before is worthless.
Forget about it.
War Skrulls showed up in the comics in the 90s and played a big role in the Secret Invasion storyline. Through genetic manipulation, the Skrulls created War Skrulls, which are like super soldier versions of the Skrulls, plus they also have the ability to mimic powers. Meow. So what would happen if Rogue touched a War Skrull? Based on her abilities and past actions in the comics, she would probably absorb their strength as well as their ability to mimic powers, making an OP Rogue incredibly OP.
No, thank you.
I mean, come
Not
on.
my Rogue.
Not my Rogue. Hashtag not my Rogue.
Not my Rogue.
Hashtag.
Unless it's Kiki Palmer, then I'll allow it.
Oh, man, yeah.
It's time for our box of scraps.
Time for box of scraps! All right.
Oh my gosh.
You want to ask me?
Yeah, I got you. If you had to live inside one of the movies or series from Phase 4 of the MCU for the rest of your life, Tommy, rest of your life, starting today till you die, which one would you choose from Phase 4?
Okay.
Phase 4.
Okay.
The fourth one.
I got to get real with you. There's a certain piece to living inside WandaVision where you just think your life is a sitcom and you're completely unaware of what's going on around you. Now, that's a prison of its own, so I'm going to eliminate that.
I was about to say, you like Don't Worry, Darling?
I want to live in New Asgard in Thor Love and Thunder. I want to live in that sweet Newfoundland or wherever Scandinavian town with chunky sweaters, magical beings just running around. Maybe I'm magical too. I'm Asgardian. I'm super strong. I take a few cracks at Valkyrie. She's like, I'm not into you. I end up dating one of the actress who plays Hela, Melissa McCarthy. We end up together, and I just prosper in New Asgard, making wooden ships.
Gore shows up.
Yeah, but then he dies.
Yeah, but he rips through that town.
Well, I'm not one of the people he rips through because I'm like, Gore, later.
And he goes, word.
Just like George Bush, I avoid Gore at all costs. Come on now, that's a good joke. What about you? Where would you live?
I would choose, out of everything in Phase 4, and I got to choose you chose literally living in a suburb.
Yeah, I'm a basic white bitch.
You're Gale.
I'm Gale.
Get the hell out.
Why do you think I connected with Gale so much?
Beat out of here like you beat your meat. Okay, so if I had to choose a Phase 4. Hey, yo. I was going to say beat eggs. Phase 4, this is hard. This is really hard because I'm trying to think of the
because
movies.
Phase 4, everyone was miserable.
Yeah, it was the perseverance.
It's
What's
pain.
love but grief persevering?
It's all pain in Phase 4.
Damn, I'm trying to think of one
That's
where
why
no
New
one
Asgard
dies.
sounds so good. They have local theater productions. You got like a roach man teaching history in the classroom.
You know what I think I might choose? I should choose Wakanda Forever because I want to live in Wakanda. But I'm going to choose Shang-Chi.
Oh, cool. That's
And I think it's because at the very end when she has the whole thing and all the women that are fighting, I'm like, that could be me. Because I would love to be a fighter like the Black Widows, but clearly I don't want to be under a control.
Yeah, you don't want a guy wearing a ring to be able to be like, do whatever I tell you.
Yeah, and rip out my uterus.
My widows.
All right, you guys, that was our episode, A Big Question. Thank you, Tommy.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Tommy, for joining in.
I will join you whenever, wherever we need to be together. I'll be here and you'll be near.
Follow Tommy online at
Tommy Bechtold on all platforms.
Perfect. Tommy
You
Bechtold.
simps.
You simps. You
My
squirrels
voice
in
came
my
out when I
pants.
called them simps.
You
I do.
simps.
My simps.
And simps.
My widows.
Follow me at Lulu_Clemons. Follow New Rockstars here on YouTube and on all social media platforms. Make sure to hit that notification bell. Send us your own big questions by commenting below or send them into our Discord, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can find us. Just don't follow me in public.
Find me, though.
You can find Tommy. Don't look for me at the Trader Joe's in Van Nuys. Bye!